I am glad that you're joining us today. It's day 13 of Jesse Tree, God's Big Advent Story. Today we're going to hear a story about Ruth and her mother-in-law Naomi and what family means. So before we get started, I want you to calm your head and your hearts and your hands. We're going to take a big, deep breath in and let it out slowly. All right. So for today's story, it's from Ruth chapter 1 through 11, and then Ruth chapter 4, verses 13 through 17. And instead of reading you the scripture, I'm just going to tell you the story, because there are a lot of pieces to this story. So it begins with a woman named Ruth. Now Ruth's husband died, and she was left alone to care for her mother-in-law, so that would be her husband's mom, and her name was Naomi. Now Ruth and Naomi didn't have to stay together, but they chose to stay together as a family. And so they were going to go back to where they knew they had distant relatives. And that place was Bethlehem. So Ruth and Naomi are traveling to Bethlehem. That sounds familiar, like another story I know. But this happened before Mary and Joseph went to Bethlehem. Ruth and Naomi went to Bethlehem to their distant relative Boaz. Now Boaz was a fairly wealthy man, and Ruth just thought, I can work in Boaz's field until we figure out where to go next. But Boaz was such a nice guy. He welcomed Ruth and Naomi into his family, and he actually married Ruth and helped her. When they became married, they started a family, they had kids, and Ruth and Naomi never had to worry anymore about what would happen to them. And Boaz really came to the rescue in this story, which we are grateful for. And now Ruth and Boaz, they had a son, and his name was Jesse. And Jesse is the same root of Jesse tree that we know Jesus will come from. So this is hundreds of years later. Ruth and Boaz, their son Jesse, becomes a long distant relative of Mary and Joseph and Jesus. So this is a critical story in the Bible about Ruth and Naomi and how Boaz helped save them. So today I want you to think about how God has given you family. Now sometimes our family are people that we live with in our house, but sometimes it's people who live far away, and sometimes we have people who may not be related but feel like family. I am Aunt Katie to my brother's children, right? I have two brothers, and they both have kids, and I'm Aunt Katie. But I also am Aunt Katie to some of my friends' kids. They call me Aunt Katie because that's who I am in their life, is I am like a brother or a sister to their parents. I'm like a sister to their parents, and so then I become Aunt Katie, and it's what we call a chosen family. That sometimes God gives us brothers and sisters through our parents, and sometimes we choose to add to our family as well. And I want you to think about the people in your family that you love and how God has given your family to you in whatever way that may mean for you. So when you think about your family, how has your family helped you? Like Boaz helped Ruth and Naomi, and he helped them help provide for them and give them all that they needed. So today's sticker is a bale of wheat or barley, which is what Ruth was is how Ruth was helping Boaz in the fields, and then Boaz fell in love with her and married her. So we are going to put the wheat fields up here. to remind us of how God provides for us by giving us families to grow up in. So as we close our time together, I want you to give thanks to God for your family and name everyone in your family that you're grateful for. It may take some time, but we want to make sure that God knows that we are so grateful for our family. I'm grateful for you all as well and our church family, and we hope to see you again tomorrow. Have a good day, folks.